All right, this video is to go over my STLD swing trade and thoughts on it as I'm coming into this trade. So if I look at kind of the overall price history, basically mid to early November, we saw a big gap. So we were pushing up on big volume, push, 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 higher, higher, higher. This is a typical kind of high bull flag, and then a major gap from 28 all the way up to kind of this 30, past 31 and 32 area. So this is considerable, right? This continuation on the bullish upside. And we saw strong candles kind of printing, some consolidation, but then no pullback. So then we broke it again. So we have we established a high, a minor pullback, and then a higher high. We tried to pull back, but still we found support at 34. So this was a higher low. And so then continuation, break through the 36. And then a big gap, big gap, big gap. Right now we're coming into early December, but big candles, big strong volume candles, and basically we pushed all the way through 40, a psychological number. Not only because it's a whole number of 40, but also if you think about it, this just ran 10 points from 30 to 40, right? So a lot of kind of psychological targets being hit, and some exhaustion started to come in once we wicked through 40. So the first wick was interesting, right? So we had an inside bar, an outside bar as this one kind of formed up, broke through 40, and then tailed off. But the next day, to me, is super important as well. We saw a big push down and a close near the lows. And that was on December 9th. So then what we saw basically has been, and a lot of this has to do with kind of the holiday trading, but from here, we kind of found support again at 36 and pushed back up. Let me zoom this in a little bit. We found 36 and pushed back up. And then kind of we've consolidated in this $2 range between 38 and 36 for the last several days. But the key thing for me is to see a fill of 40, a big push down, and then at this 38 level, we found resistance and we've made a higher high. And now we're kind of in this again, we're range bound now in this $2 box. So the thought process here is we have this somewhat downtrend. If this is going to be a rounded top, and if this high candle here is a lower high from this point here, then this becomes our trend line. 36 becomes kind of that level of support for the bulls on the upside, or resistance for a short on the downside. Should this break, then we have to see targets, right? So where are our first areas of resistance? Well, we're going to see one here at 34. This is where we broke through, found support, and bounced back off. So it looks like every almost $2. We have 34, we have 36 is a major one, 38 is the top of the box, and then 40. So basically what I did was anticipation of the 36 break is to get in here in the 36.50 level with my stop. Typically it'd be over this candle here or even over the pivot high, but I'm not going to risk $1.50 on this one. This one's more of just a test to see if we've already held, and it's an anticipation. I expect it to break 36 and move down. If I'm wrong, I'm not going to wait for it to kind of go $1.50 against me. So if basically I'm looking for, by the time this were to potentially break back up, it's around that 37 level. And again, a whole number halfway through this box. So I want it to hold on the lower end of this range and then see the breakthrough. So today, I re-enter. So I'm in a full position now. I think my average is 36.32 on my ad. It hit 36. I think our low was basically 36, and then bounced back up. And so that's good. We're seeing some pressure. It was a close below yesterday's low, which is great. All things I want to kind of see. And now I'm just hoping continuation to the downside. I added at, I think it was 36.22. And it should have been upon this break, but nonetheless, I added. I expect the drop down here. So I'm basically, with my average of that 36.32, my risk is still about 50 to 60 cents right now, but I'm going to trail it as soon as we see this break of 36. Then I'm going to basically trail off the daily highs. So I'd probably bring it up to 36.75, have it break down. And then trail it again off off the highs. So my first target is probably going to be in this 34 level because that's where I expect to see some of this resistance come in. And then, 32 to 30, this is my ultimate target. It's just this 30. I'm going to have to watch price action. It's either going to be in this kind of this price range or it's going to be kind of in this 30 level. And by the time I expect that to happen, which might be, next week or it's, I expect several days on this one, the 200 moving average is going to be creeping back up. So I expect there to be some kind of confluence of all of that happening together. So if we get down this low, then we're going to have, I'll kind of trail tightly as we get closer to this to either hit my target or on a pullback, make sure that pullback's minor to kind of get as much profit out of it as possible. Or the opposite, I get stopped out and I risk anywhere from 30 to 70 cents right now, with the potential to make several dollars on each of my my profit taking targets. So hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.